Well, imagine an oil and gas-free north. According to a new report, that could be closer than you might think. The report from Alternatives North says the Northwest Territories could be using 100% renewable energy by 2050. Andrew Robinson is with the Yellowknife-based group. He's also the former director of the Arctic Energy Alliance. A big part of the plan is using biomass energy, so I met up with him at one of Yellowknife's many commercial wood pellet operations. Andrew, thanks for joining us. How did you go about sort of determining what a 100% alternative energy future would look like?
Well, we start at the beginning. I'm an engineer, so I like to draw a picture. So the first thing we did was look at how do we use energy now in the Northwest Territories. And it's about a third for communities, a third for transportation, and a third goes to mining and industry. So we sketch that out and then look at each sector and figure out which renewable energy could be used for which thing that we use energy for now.
And how did you go about sort of determining what renewable energies worked best for the territory?
Well, you have to kind of match the demand with the supply. So you can see today it's November, it's not that sunny out, but it's a little cold. So it would be nice to have heat that works in the wintertime. So wood pellets, like for example this school, you can store wood pellets for the winter for when it's needed, and so that works really well for heat, whereas solar would work well in the summertime and for making electricity, but it only works when it's sunny. And so you look at each sector and choose a fuel, a renewable fuel for each thing to make sure that it's available at the right time.
And some of these renewable energies, while they're renewable, things like wood, they do emit CO2 into the air, isn't that true?
That's true, but this is with biofuels like wood or other biofuels, the whole point is that we're burning fuel that's part of a natural cycle anyway. Gasoline and diesel are buried in the ground and they're from a long time ago, and what's causing climate change is digging them up and burning them. But that's not really a natural cycle. But burning wood, it's going to get burned in a forest fire eventually anyway, so it's it's part of a natural cycle of growth and burning and regrowth, and so that's okay.
And solar and wind, they only account for about 2% of our energy production. Why do you think that is?
Now it's even less, but this model of the future shows up to 2% each, but it kind of goes back to what I was saying. Electricity is not a big part of our picture. Heating and transportation and industry are big. And so even if you use a lot of wind and solar, you're still only filling a small niche.
And how do we achieve, the scenario that you've set out, this 2050, 100% renewable energy?
Well, we said 2050 because that gives us a bit of time to do it, and this is going to happen. This needs to happen. So every time we build a new school or we build a new hospital, it would be smart to think about the future and put in a renewable energy system at that time, because otherwise 10 years down the road there's going to become a law or carbon pricing that's going to force us to change it anyway. So the most affordable way to do it is, as you're building new buildings and buying new vehicles, think about renewable energy then, and that's a good time to make it as cheap as possible.
All right, thanks so much, Anna, for joining.